Hey everyone, Rachel Alford here from Cozy Nooks Designs, and today we're going to go over how to make the beginner bookmark together. This project is perfect to learn how to switch colors mid-project. It does it at the end of the row, so it's not too intimidating. We'll go slow how to do this together. That way you can gain this skill set. But if you are a little intimidated about doing two colors, you can always make it a solid color all the way down. This bookmark, let me show you the length of it. It's enough that you can just have the little fringe poking out at the bottom of the book so that you can find your place easily. And then of course you could always do it in a magazine or whatever else you're wanting it to peek out at the bottom there. So anyway, if you have read any good books recently, please tell me in the comments because I absolutely loved this book. I just finished it and I'm looking for new recommendations. All right, well, let's grab our hook and yarn and let's get started. To make these beginner bookmarks, you're going to need an H 5.0 millimeter crochet hook like this. And you're going to need medium worsted weight yarn. You can see what that is right here in this symbol, so weight 4. And I'm going to be showing you how to change colors for projects. But if you don't want to learn how to change colors and you just want to make it the same color for the entirety of the bookmark, you can. But if you want to learn how to change colors, you'll need two different skeins of cotton yarn or weight 4 yarn. You'll need scissors, a tapestry crochet hook, so a blunt tip, and then optional is to have a sewing needle because it helps separate the fringe easier. You can comb it through easier. So that's optional to have a sewing needle. All right, let's get going. To begin the bookmark, you're going to need to make a slip stitch. A slip knot. So you're going to make a loop like this and then fold it down on top of your working yarn so that it's in between the circle. Grab that strand in the middle and pull up and you will have your slip knot right there. So with your yarn that's attached to your skein on your left side, and then insert your hook into that slip knot and then tighten it down so there's a little bit of space there, but you're still able to work. Now we are ready to begin our chains. So we're going to begin by chaining 6. So you yarn over, pull through that loop that you made, your slip knot, and that is 1 chain made. And then yarn over again, go through that loop you made, that's 2, again, yarn over, 3, yarn over, 4, yarn over, 5, yarn over, 6. So let's look at what this looks like together. So we have our slip knot right here that we do not count. That does not count as a stitch. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 chains. We do not count the loop that is on our hook. So we have 6 chains that we made. And so the pattern says that we need to single crochet 1 into the second chain from our hook. So we do not count this loop that is on our hook as a chain because it's not one. So ignore this and then we go 1, 2. So into this stitch right here, into this chain, I'm going to insert my hook. So to do that, I just go under like this and then I yarn over to do my single crochet. I drop a loop, so I have 2 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through both of them. So that's one single crochet made. I'm going to go into the next chain, which is right here. You can see we've already worked this chain right here, so we don't go into that one, we go into the next one, which is right here. So I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over, drop a loop, and I have 2 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2. So we've made 2 single crochets now. 1, 2. And we need to do 5 for this row. So going into the next chain right here, I'm going to yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, into the next chain, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. We've done 4 single crochets and we have 1 more. This is the last chain because we do not count the slip knot, remember? So we're going to insert our hook right here. So right into this chain space, I'm going to yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And so I have 5 single crochets in this row. So this is row 1. So we're going to turn and chain 1 by yarning over, pulling through that loop, and that sets us up ready to do row 2. So we need to go into the first single crochet. You can see this is the chain and we ignore that part. The first single crochet is right here under both loops. You can see what it looks like if I turn the work towards me. So right here is where I'm going to insert my hook and do my next stitch. So in here, insert my hook, yarn over, drop a loop. I have 2 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through both loops. The next space I will work is right here, the next stitch. So into this stitch right here, I'm going to do another single crochet. My yarn's running away. And then into the next stitch, I will do another single crochet. And you can see now we've done 3 single crochets in this row. You can see we have our 4th right here and then our 5th right here. And this is where we turned and did not work that first chain from our hook. So you're going to ignore this right here. We're going to work this one and this one right here. So we're going to do our 4th single crochet for this row. Insert our hook and do our single crochet. And then our last stitch in this row is right here. You can see I went under both loops, right there and there, the front and back loop. Yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And then you're going to want to count to make sure you did it correctly. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets in this row. So we did it correctly. You can see this is our chain 1 and we ignore that part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we've done it correctly. So for row 3, we're just going to go back across again and do our 5 single crochets, 1 in each stitch, until we reach the end of row 3, 4, and 5. And again, if you want to count, I recommend that you count to make sure you did it correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 single crochets, so we did it correctly. All right, so I am going to work this color, this ecru, I believe that's what it's called, this off-white. I'm just going to work this quickly until I get to row 7, after I've completed row 7, so I can show you how to change to the next color. Okay, so I believe this is row 5 that I've done. Let's actually count rows together. so that we can figure that out. Okay, so you can see this is row 1, 2, 3, 4, and so yes, I just did row 5. So I need 2 more rows in this color. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. One last row. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've done 4 stitches, 4 single crochets in this row. Now I'm going to start doing my last single crochet in the row, and I'm going to pause when I get to this step. Usually I just yarn over and pull through, but I'm going to be changing to a different color. So I am going to grab my new color. See, I chose this purple here, and I have about 2.5, 3 inches of tail, and I'm just going to loop it onto my hook like that. And then I'm going to pull that through, and that completes my row 7. And so you can see, you don't see the purple. This stitch looks complete with the off-white. You don't see the purple. That's one of the magic things of crochet. So chain 1, and then I just do what I was doing before. I single crochet across like this. You can see how it looks here, and then what it looks like on this side. And so after you have done a row, then you can cut the off-white. I would just wait to do it until after you finish the row in case you made a mistake and you have to go back and redo something in the white. So you can see I have my beginning tail and my ending tail for the off-white, and then my beginning tail for the purple. And you can weave those in now, or you can wait and weave it in later using your tapestry hook or your tapestry needle. I would recommend waiting until after, again, just in case you mess up. It's easier to weave it in at the end than trying to unpick it if you made a mistake. So that is row 8 that I did. So this is row 9. I'm really liking how these colors are looking together. This might be my favorite out of the bunch. So then after, you just keep on doing this until you reach, after you complete row 38, and then we will do row 39 together. As you can see, I just completed row 28, so I'm ready to do row 29. So I'm just going to do it the same way by placing 1 single crochet in each stitch. That's 4 and 5. Now to end this project, I'm going to leave about a 2.5 inch tail. So I'm just going to snip it with my scissors. You can see it here, my tail. Now I'm going to weave in all of these tails. So to do that, I need to decide what is my front and my back side. For this project, it doesn't really matter too much. You just want to be consistent. So if I'm going to just decide that my back side is on, if I flip it over. So I'm going to weave it in all on this side, just so it's consistent throughout the project. So using my tapestry needle, I threaded it onto the tail, and then there isn't a right or a wrong way to weave in these tails. I'm just going up and through it, and then I usually like to give it a little tug so it sits naturally, and then I go back through the stitches I just did so it kind of locks it in. And then give it a little tug so it sits how it should, and then you can cut the tail like that. So going into this right here, this off-white portion, doing the same thing. It doesn't have to be perfect or pretty. You just don't want to cinch it too tight, otherwise the project won't lay normally and it will look wrinkled. Then I'm going to go back to help lock it in. Like that. Give it a little tug, and then this one's ready to be cut. And then I'm going to do it with these other two tails. So you can see I have all of my tails woven in. So now I am ready to do my fringe. So I've already cut 3 pieces of fringe, and the pattern asks you to do 5. So let's do 2 together. So this doesn't have to be precise either. The pattern says to cut them 4-inch strands. I just guessed with my fingers what 4 inches was. This doesn't have to be perfect because you will be trimming them again at the end. So just don't cut them too small. So there's my 5th. So I have my 5 strands here, and I'm going to put it along the bottom here, but you can do it if you want to do it so that this is your top, whatever you think would look good. So to attach the fringe, it's easiest if you use your crochet hook, and then you're going to insert your hook into one of the stitches at the bottom, fold your fringe in half, and then you're going to place this loop onto your hook like this. You can see. And then you're just going to pull it through so that you have your loop and your 2 tail ends at the top. And then you're going to grab the tail ends so they're through the loop like this, and then you're going to pull it tight like that. Some people put this side on the back. I personally like the clean look on the front. Whatever you decide, just make sure you do it consistently across the bottom for all of them. Okay, so let's do it again. I insert my hook, and then I fold a strand in half, place the loop onto my hook, and have a loop, and then I take my tail ends, put it through the loop, and then I pull it tight. Okay, 1, 2, I think I missed a stitch, guys. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did. I missed this stitch. Okay, let's do it again. Like this. And then we will be using, I'll show you how to do this with your optional sewing needle. It's much easier to use the sewing needle to separate the fringe than doing it by hand. So I will show you how to do both, but it will go a lot quicker if you do use a sewing needle. Okay, 4 and then 5. Okay, so this is how the fringe looks right now. And so to separate, you can just untwist them manually with your fingers like this. But that takes a while, so let me show you how to do it with a sewing needle. So using my one with a tip, you basically just comb the fringe and it unravels it for you. It's a lot faster to do it this way. Here, let me show you on a new strand. So just starting at the bottom, and then you work your way up. And that's how you unravel it, like that. So after I've done this all the way across, then you just cut the fringe to the same length, and that is how you make your beginner's bookmark. So you see how this is curling? It's not laying very flat. The best way to make it sit flat is to steam block it. I like to use a steamer. Make sure if you do use a steamer, you can use one that tips, because you need it. This is going to be laying flat on a table or a ground, and then you're going to be using your steamer and twisting it and steaming it this way. So if you use a steamer and you're looking to buy one, make sure you get one that can be tipped sideways, and I'll put a link to one that I like. Or you can do the iron trick, but you just make sure you don't touch the iron to the project. You just hover it above the project and then steam it. Use the steam button that way. So anyway, that is how you make the beginner's bookmark. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in today. I hope you liked it. I am Rachel from Cozy Nooks Designs, and make sure that you give it a thumbs up, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe to my channel for future free patterns and tips.